Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about chafing and how to avoid it. So, excuse the wind, it's a quite windy Tuesday morning. As always on Tuesday, it's all things running, one of my favourite topics. And first, before I get into the chafing side of things, just a very quick update on the injury. I'm not wearing calf guards today, so I just thought I'd see how it goes today without the calf guards. I don't really like running in them. I feel I don't know how much support they actually do really give. I think they're better for compression and blood flow, so they're probably a good reason to do it, but I just find them a bit restrictive to running. So taking them off today, which hopefully is a positive. I don't feel I need them. I'm running close to 6 minute K, which is the quickest I've run since the injury, which is good. So hopefully I'm on the mend, but I'm not going to push it. In fact, I'm going to slow it down a little bit just to not tempt fate like I did a few days ago. I was saying, oh, it's going really well. And then straight after that, it went again. So just trying to nurse it through. I don't want any more setbacks. It's really, really frustrating when they do happen. So yeah, so all in all, it's pretty positive, fingers crossed. And with a bit of luck, I might be able to do a little bit extra distance at the weekend. So we will see. But okay, so today's topic, chafing and what you can do to avoid it happening. This is probably something that the majority of people have only experienced if you've done long runs. Now, I rarely suffer with chafing unless I'm doing kind of 10-mile runs plus. But first and foremost, if you've watched more than one episode of my vlog, every single episode, I think without fail, I do this action. Because I wear running shorts and I don't wear any underwear underneath. My running shorts are a little bit too much detail, but the reason I don't is to keep the little amount of material around the parts that are moving quite a lot without getting too crude. But it's all about to avoid chafing, and that's why in a lot of running shorts you have like a netted kind of pant area that will give you the support without having to wear underwear. So that's there's a reason for that. So I do this because I can feel my shorts riding up a little bit, and if I don't pull them back into shape, I'll probably start getting some chafing issues. So where are the common areas? Well, firstly, if you don't know what chafing is, hopefully it's relatively self-explanatory. It's when basically you're running. Think about running. It's such a repetitive sport, so it's the same action over and over and over again. Okay, you get some different angles as you're running up and down and things like that, but ultimately your muscles are pretty much moving the same every single stride. You know, whether it's your arms, whether it's your legs, and different people based on different styles will get different issues with chafing. Some people will be fortunate enough to never get any form of issue with chafing. I'm pretty fortunate. I don't struggle anywhere near as bad as a lot of people do, but some people get it really, really bad, and you have to try and find a solution to avoid it. So, most common areas that I get chafing issues in are nipples, without being too crude, but when you run and it's running against your nipples, the vest is or your top is running against them, rubbing against them. If you do that for 10 miles, 11, 12 miles plus, you'll get sore, and it'll actually take some skin off to some degree. So you get people with bloody nipples, which are horrible, but it's because it's rubbing away the skin around the area. So really, really sore. And you may have experienced after a run, you've got in the shower and it's been super stingy when the water has hit you in the areas that your soreness has occurred. So nipples is one area. Another area, some people get it around the side here. I don't. I think that's probably down to how arm motion and probably a little bit down to your body type and build as well. But I don't get it there. I suffer from it more around the groin area, where your tights, right? You know, so your running shorts can ride up a little bit, and that's where I can get some chafage kind of around my inner thigh. And again, and the funny thing is, apart from chafing, when you're running, it'll be sore and it'll just get sorer and sorer, but you'll be able to run through it. But where it really gets you is after the event, and then how long it takes to heal, because it is basically the skin that's rubbed away in certain areas. So yeah, you want to avoid it if you can. So what can you do to avoid it? 2 words. Again, no affiliation with this product, but it's an amazing product. It's called Body Glide. Okay, and it's you can get varying versions of it, but I get the blue one. It's basically like a deodorant stick, where it has this kind of block of soap which kind of comes up from the tube when you turn the wheel at the bottom, and you just rub that over, all the areas where you expect to chafe. And the beauty of it, the best thing about it, is everyone goes, oh yeah, just use Vaseline or plasters, things like this. People come up with other suggestions, but these are a kind of plastering over the cracks. The problem with Vaseline, there is a different use of Vaseline, and I'll tell you in a second episode, predominantly to avoid blisters, but I'll tell you about that in another episode. But so there is a good use for Vaseline, and you can obviously use it to stop your lips cracking and stuff like that when you're running in hot weather and stuff like that. But for chafing, I find you try and put it in areas, all your clothing will stick to the Vaseline and make it really uncomfortable to run. So it won't. The reason it's technical clothing, it's supposed to be minimise the risk of chafing, but also it's supposed to let oxygen flow, be loose and airy, sweat absorbent. So as soon as you start putting things like Vaseline in it, which restricts some of that motion, the technical running clothing won't be able to fulfill its purpose. So that's my experience with Vaseline. Some people might love it, but it's just my take on it. Plasters are, I suppose plasters do work. You can get special ones to cover your nipples when you're running, because that's one of the key areas that people struggle with. But I don't like it. I want to be free when I run, and anything that's taped up or anything like that, it just doesn't feel natural to me. And I think that's probably why I like barefoot running so much, because you feel more at one with the ground, if you like. You feel every contour. Whereas you wear a big pair of supportive running trainers, you don't get that feeling of appreciate how you're running. So it's something to be said about running freedom. The other way you can avoid chafing, skins. Skins are really good. Problem is, in hot summer weather, you don't want to be wearing skins. You overheat. You can get some that are supposed to keep you cool, but in my experience, they may keep you cooler, but there's no substitute for running in as little gear as possible when it's super hot, because overheating is one of the biggest issues for runners, especially on long distances. So definitely less is more in this instance. So skins is another one, and in the winter month, especially because you can obviously get compression tights and skin types, skin bottoms and tops, long sleeve, short sleeve, and you'll find that it will make a big difference. So that's another thing you can do. The final thing is obviously running tech is a biggie for me, but just look at what do you really need to have on you when you run. If you're carrying something, or some people put these big vests on with multiple drinks bottles and stuff like that. Those little areas can be suspect to chafage, because it's you're putting extra stuff onto you're carrying, and extra stuff in the motion that your clothing is moving. So really think about what you need. Unless it's over half a marathon, I won't even consider fueling. It might be even maybe 15 miles plus before I'll start wanting to carry fuel. But again, everybody's different. You don't want to be stuck out there without fuel, but don't take it if you don't necessarily need it. It's better to fuel before you run and fuel again at the end, in my opinion. So all these things can kind of contribute to chafage issues. So to summarise how to avoid chafing, number one is clothing you're wearing. So try and run in designated clothing. That's designated running clothing. It will minimise the chafing issues. It won't, stop you experiencing them, period, but it will minimise them. So running the right gear is number one. Less is more. So look at the amount of clothing you're wearing. I'll do a separate vlog episode on how I pick what I wear for what weather conditions, etc. in a separate episode. But really important, less is more when you run. The less you're running with, the less contact your body has with too much overgarments and stuff, the less potential chafage issues you're going to get. Number 3, invest in some body glide or something similar. I'm sure there's other products as well. But the key, what you want here is it's like non-stick, so that your clothing can still run off it. Body glide gives you like a sheen, and you won't notice your clothing sticking to it, which is really, really important. So that's why I recommend body glide. So that's number 3. And number 4, if it's colder weather, skins. Skins underneath will give you that kind of, they don't move, so you don't get the chafage. They don't move anywhere near as much. I've never experienced chafage in skins, so if it's colder weather, skins are a great way to do that. But still, if you're doing a race, I would always say less is more. So even if it's a race in the winter, I'd run in shorts the best. I don't think I'd ever run a race in skins or anything long sleeve or long legged. But that's just preference. Just what I find when it's race conditions. And the final one, point number 5, is aftercare. If you do have chafage, there are special creams that you can apply that can aid the healing process. Because if you're a regular runner and you get chafage, it's like you run and you chafe. You're never going to give it enough time to heal if you're going to keep reoccurring the chafing injury as you do multiple runs repetitively. So have some cream or something. I've got some below the belt cream my wife bought me. I don't know if she got it from, but it's really good. It's really soothing, and it helps the healing process a lot quicker, so I don't get recurring chafage issues. So I hope this has been useful, and coming up to some people. So before I sign off, I'm just going to run past these because my pet hate is talking about my vlog when I run past people without acknowledging them. Just can't help saying hello. I suppose it's just me. Morning. How you doing? As you can see. So hopefully that's useful, and some good tips there to help you if you are having issues with chafing. And as always, any comments or questions, please fire them in. My guarantee is I'll respond to every single one of them. It's a bigger topic, I'll still respond, but I will do a separate blog episode and tag you in. I can't guarantee when that will be done because I've got a massive long content plan, but I'll try and squeeze it in as quick as I can. If you think this is really good value or would help somebody else, please tag that person in you think it might help, or just like and share the content. It will give me bigger reach, and it will reach more people that hopefully it will help. And if it's on other channels, please subscribe so you get regular updates of when this stuff happens. So I hope that's useful. And finally, if it's not for you, or you find this stuff annoying, just unfollow me or unfriend me, no problem. I know there's nothing more annoying than your feed being filled up by information that's not interesting to you. So absolutely no hard feelings there. So as again, I'll end this as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next episode.